Before America officially entered World War II, American pilots were already fighting and dying in the skies over Europe. They were known as the Eagle Squadrons. In 1940, as Britain stood alone against Nazi Germany, hundreds of young Americans crossed the Atlantic to join the Royal Air Force. U.S. neutrality laws forbade military service abroad, but these men were driven by ideology, adventure, and a belief that the war against fascism could not be avoided. They flew under the RAF roundel, but they were Americans. The first Eagle Squadron, number 71 Squadron RF, was formed in September 1940, followed by number 121 and number 133 squadrons. Initially flying Hawker Hurricanes and later Supermarine Spitfires, the Eagles defended British skies during a perilous period when defeat seemed possible. Early on, discipline was a challenge. Many Eagle pilots were young, independent, and unfamiliar with the strict traditions of the British Armed Forces. But combat forged professionalism quickly. They flew patrols over the English Channel, escorted bombers, and engaged German fighters during offensive sweeps into occupied Europe. They learned the hard way. Losses mounted as the Luftwaffe grew more aggressive in 1941 and 1942, but the Eagles gained something invaluable: combat experience the United States would soon desperately need. Everything changed on December 7, 1941. After Pearl Harbor, America entered the war. Suddenly, the presence of hundreds of combat-tested American fighter pilots in British service became a strategic asset. In September 1942, after negotiations between London and Washington, the Eagle Squadrons were officially transferred to the United States Army Air Forces. They became the 4th Fighter Group, one of the first fighter units of the newly formed 8th Air Force. The transition was not easy. British aircraft were replaced with American fighters, first the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, which many former Eagle pilots disliked for its size and altitude limitations. Morale dipped. Some veterans felt they were losing hard-earned RAF tactics in favor of unproven American doctrine. But the Eagles adapted. Drawing on their RAF experience, they improved escort formations, refined air combat tactics, and mentored newly arrived American pilots who had never seen combat. Their hard lessons shaped the 8th Air Force's fighter philosophy at a crucial moment. When long-range escort fighters like the P-51 Mustang arrived in 1944, the 4th Fighter Group became a dominant force over Germany. By war's end, former Eagle Squadron pilots had destroyed hundreds of enemy aircraft and helped secure air superiority over Europe, one of the decisive factors in the Allied victory.